what you know is that the more power you are able to deliver from a motherboard, the more stable it is when the CPU is overclocking. So right now I'm going to add some loadings on this system and see how much power we can deliver with Gigabyte unlocked power. So right now I'm going to add some loadings to 350 amps, and here is another 350 amps adding up to 700. Multiplied by this wattage volts, 1.7 volts, we get around like 1,200 watts. Okay, just now you have seen that Gigabyte unlocked power, we have reached up to 1,200 watts. And right now I'm going to push some more to higher wattage. So I've overvolts the CPU up to 2.15 volts and adding up 700 amps of loading. So let's see if we can achieve around like 1,300 watts. 350, another 350. Multiplied by 1.8, we get around 1,300.
Thank you. Right, so unlocked power consists of dual power switching. So we mentioned before there are 24 power phases around the CPU, and all of them will be working when you're under heavy loading, when you're overclocking. But if you were to enable dual power switching, then you alternate between them. We split the 24 power phases into two power engines, power engine A and power engine B, each consisting of 12 power phases. So if you shut down today and tomorrow you come and you boot up again, you'll use the alternate power engine. The benefits of this are simply you're basically doubling the VRM phase lifespan because you're using them half of the time. There's auto failure protection, so if you're using power engine A and one of your power phases dies, then it will automatically switch over to power engine B, and so yeah, it's more stable, it's more continuous operation. It also saves energy because half of the power phases will not be running, and there's also 6-gear switching, which is not a new technology from Gigabyte. We've had it for a while. This is what it looks like. This is Dynamic Energy Saver 2, and you can see this is the dual power button over here. If it's on, it's green. If it's off, it's red. So with the 6-gear switching, gear 1, if dual power switching is enabled, then gear 1 will be 2 power phases, gear 2 will be 4, etc., all the way to 12. And under heavy loading, gear 1 will be 4 power phases, gear 2 will be 8 power phases, etc. So that was the first big announcement for today. Now the second announcement is Hotkey OC. And essentially what Hotkey OC does, it allows you to change your overclock settings on the fly as you're running through a benchmark. Now it allows you to change the back clock, the B clock, the CPU multiplier, as well as the voltages. And you can achieve higher scores because you can switch between dedicated profiles for all these settings. What makes it special is that it works if your motherboard is inside a case or outside of a case. So there's no physical button that you're pushing. This is operated by your keyboard. Everybody has a keyboard attached to their PC. And it also works with all Gigabyte motherboards, not only the high-end motherboards. So if we're talking about mainstream enthusiasts, mainstream overclockers, this is a good feature. Every single Gigabyte motherboard will have it. Even the G41. As an example, we chose 3D Mark 06, and this benchmark has 2 graphics tests, 2 CPU tests, and then 2 more graphics tests. So during the CPU test, the CPU is stressed a lot. So you can't achieve the same degree of overclocking as you can with the GPU tests, where the GPU is doing more of the work. So in this example, we're using a Core i5 655K CPU running on a Gigabyte P55A UD4P motherboard. And the maximum OC we could get during the CPU test was 4.61 gigahertz, stable at that speed. This is on air cooling. But for the graphics test, we could get 4.81 stable. So without OC hotkey, you would run just at that one speed through the whole benchmark. But with OC hotkey, you can run the graphics tests on this profile, switch to profile 2 for the CPU tests, and then switch back to profile 1 for the graphics test at the end. And that'll give you an extra 840 3D marks. So, very, very useful. This is what it looks like. This is EasyTune 5. You can change all your settings over there, and you save it, and your OC profile will be saved on your desktop or wherever you want to save it. Then if you click this button, set profile hotkey, it'll open this window, and then you can select the profile that you want for say your first profile. And then the hotkey buttons are Control Alt F1 for the first profile, Control Alt F2, F3, F4 for the other 4. So a maximum of 4 profiles. Right, to demo this, I'm going to call on HiCookie, our in-house overclocker, to show us how it works. Cookie.
Thanks. Hey everyone, I am so excited to show this program. It's a new software tool. Now you can see I'm running Heaven benchmark right now, and then now you can see that I use the 655K. Now I'm running 200 bit clock. So during the benchmark, I can optimize the speed anytime, anywhere, and then it's gonna do it by real time.
Okay, so
yeah, I'm gonna show you because ordinarily, if you run the benchmark, you just one click, then you are done, right? And also, as there are people who use the hardware overclocking, but you need to just step by step. You cannot change it all again. Okay, so I already set the 3 profiles in my desktop, and I'm gonna show you how I can change the bit clock in real time.
Okay, so now HiCookie is pushing.
Yeah, I just click the
Alt Control F1.
Yeah, and the bit clock is from 200 to 240.
Okay, so that went from 200 to 240.
Yes, and the benchmark is still running. It cannot jump, so I can do it anytime I want to run a speed.
And I put it back where it was.
Yes, and it's more exciting because it's not just the bit clock or voltage. You also can do the multiplier, especially for the Intel K-Skill CPU. You can change the multiplier, right? Okay, so I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna change the multiplier and change the voltage.
So the voltage is 1.3 and multiply is 16.
Okay, and our CPU is running at 4.8 gigahertz. And the multiplier from 16 to 20.
All this on the fly while the benchmark is running.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. This is my demo.
Thank you. Alright, so the first announcement was 1500 watts, the second was hotkey OC, and now we have cloud OC. So as the name suggests, this new overclocking tool allows you to remotely overclock your PC from any device that can connect to the internet or to a wireless network. So here are some of the examples of devices that can use it, and these are the kind of screenshots that are taken from the device. And to show this, I'm going to call Roxanne, our head technical marketing manager.
Hello, Tim.
Hey, Roxanne.
Hello, everyone. So today I'm going to demonstrating our new technology called Cloud OC. So basically, this is an overclocking tool or a system monitoring tool by using any of the wireless connected devices.
What wireless device are you using there?
Apple iPad, of course.
And you charged it with a Gigabyte motherboard, right?
Yes.